Comforting, calm, nice, excellent music. Love it. Love it.
His face says it all.
Guys, if you're watching this and you're like, what is up with these guys? We just recorded this clip like 4 times. We just can't get it to stick. We're going to get it this time. We're going to get it this time. We're going to get it this time. No, I feel good about this one. I feel good that for the 3rd time saying welcome to the 3rd episode of the Extra Me podcast. I think it's going to stick this time.
Maybe that's what it is.
I think it's going to stick this time. I do.
3rd time's a charm. Is that what they say?
So
is it 3?
Chad, for the 3rd time, can you let everyone know about our sponsor?
Sure. Let's go back to him right here on the screen. There we go. Easy Micro Studios. If you're a small business and looking for IT solutions, Easy Micro Solutions is your best bet to help you out with all that.
I can't believe we did that 3 times.
3 times.
Amazing. Amazing. If you are out there, you own a business, or you just want to get behind us and you want to be a sponsor, please reach out, extrameatpod@gmail.com. We're going to hook you up if you hook us up. That's really all there is to it.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it.
Table looks naked without anything
right?
on it.
Yeah. No, it is.
It is.
It's a big table, too. It's
big
like,
one.
it's rough.
Big.
So we're happy to introduce our guest for this episode. She's a business owner of just about 3 years in South Jersey. She sells a wide variety of delicious, fresh items, from beautiful pizzas to sandwiches, salads, wings, and the super viral cheesesteak garlic knots. She's had like 4 videos go viral with those now. Her name is Gena of Gena's Pizza.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Hey, Gena, how you doing?
So
Good. Thank you for having me.
Gena, say your last name.
Anastasiadis.
Yeah, that's why I didn't try.
Would you butcher it?
So bad. So incredible.
How bad? I think you should take a shot at it.
You just said it, though. I probably still will.
No, go ahead. Try it.
Anastasiadis.
Close. Almost there. You got it.
You
Not that bad.
You said
I've
2
gotten
seconds
worse.
ago, and I still messed it up.
I've gotten worse.
See how slow we got? You said
I had
slow.
to.
His brain-
There's too many
his brain's
vowels.
bleeding.
I feel like I'm on like Wheel of Fortune. Can I buy an A?
Go ahead.
So Gena, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Your backstory and how you got to where you are today, professionally or privately, whatever you want to disclose.
So I'm originally from Philadelphia. I was born and raised in Philly. I grew up on, I don't know if you guys are familiar, but down by like Hunting Park area, like 9th and Bristol. The way I got into the business was I grew up in the business. My grandpop started originally with a food truck at Temple campus. He would do like egg sandwiches in the morning, steaks and stuff like that for the afternoon for lunch. My dad came here from Greece when he was in his teens. He worked in different restaurants, and then got married, had my brother and I, and then had to figure things out quick. My uncle actually had two pizza shops, one on 2nd and Jefferson and the one on 9th Street. And my dad took the one over on 9th Street, bought it, and then, I grew up watching him, going down with him on the weekends, learning it. I can remember climbing up on milk crates, like answering phones or like, taking people's order. And then like through high school and through college, I worked for him. And, my dad didn't want this for me. He didn't want me to be stuck in the business. But I don't know, I was just so drawn to it. And I love to cook, so it was like a passion of mine. And then the way I got to making pizzas was, he didn't want me to. He was always like, girls don't make pizzas, men make pizzas. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to prove you wrong. So I would just watch him. I would watch him like a hawk. And then I would help pull pizzas and cut them and stuff like that. And then I was just intrigued. So I originally went to school for art. So like looking at a pizza and being able to like decorate, it's like a form of art. Like, people don't understand it.
It is.
Then one day something happened. He was like, remember that time you said you wanted to learn how to make pizzas? And I'm like, mm-hmm. He's like, well, today's the day. And I'm like, on a Friday? Okay, let's do this.
Right in the
Let
fire.
me tell you, I burned every fucking pizza. Pizzas were coming out lopsided. I had a stromboli. I threw it in the middle of the oven and didn't realize it and got stuck to the oven. So like the whole thing burnt. You just smell burnt meat as my dad's trying to like fix. I'm like, Dad. He's looking at me like, what the hell did you do? I'm like, oh no.
It's not right. I just know it's not right.
But after a while of just doing it for so long, I got the hang and I just fell in love. Like once I got my hand on some dough and I learned how to like stretch it and just the art of it, I was just like, okay, this is what I want to do. My dad's like, I don't want this for you. And I'm like, this is is what I want to do. I was like determined, and he was just like, no, and I'm like, yeah.
So your whole family then basically is like self-taught, like just learned from learning.
Yeah, so like I said, my dad worked for a couple different pizza shops, so he took ideas from here, ideas from there, and then like when he got his shop, he was just put them all together. Like, oh, I liked how they did it here, and I liked how they did that there, and then did his own twist on things. Like, so my dad used to do. That's why I do like the roast beef and the turkey and the chicken fingers. I got that all from my dad, but my dad was more intense. Like he did everything from scratch. You know what I mean? So, but. My business, great. I can't do as much as he does. You know what I mean? Yeah, and that's everything's. Your setup doesn't. You don't even have the equipment to do a lot of the things you probably want to do. So my shop's only like 900 square feet, so there's not really much space to really do anything. And if you see the way I have it set up, it's set up so I can work and not, be in someone's way or somebody
tripping over people
in my way. You know what I mean? It's an easy flow.
Yeah, that's smart. That's especially if you have a lot of people on a busy night running around, so you're not trying to fall over people.
Surprising though that you picked up that passion in a family business like that. I'll tell you here now, even nowadays, there's a lot of pizza shops that once the father or the mother or whoever established that business passes away or moves on, kids don't want it. They don't want to deal with any of that. It's a passion. So you definitely have a passion for what you're working on for you to be able to keep it going.
Yeah, for me, it was always trying to keep the legacy because, my dad had some incidents, like someone burned the shop down. So my dad and my grandfather had to rebuild. And, they still have burned beams inside the building, like, just a reminder of what happened. So it's just I wanted to keep that name because it's just, they work so hard for it. And it's just.
So Gena's Pizza is the original name that your father had?
My dad's pizza shop's called El Greco's.
It's still around?
It is. He actually sold the business not too long ago, so he still has a building, and it's still there. It's still on 9th Street. It's a staple to the neighborhood. Everybody knows who my dad is, you know what I mean? And my uncle, because my uncle's pizza shop's called El Greco's too, and it's on 2nd Street, so it's a family thing.
It's funny how things come full circle too, because like you grew up with your dad, your uncle, everything like that, and you learn that way. And like now, every now and then, your dad gives you a shift.
Yeah, so he does. He comes in and he's like he tries to be. I don't know how to put. Like he tries to be very like confined, like and not try to speak out. But there's times he just gives me that look, like you
understand.
The other day it was busy and it was hectic and. It slowed down for a period of time. And then, the kids, they just started to like slack off and just go into their own worlds. And then it started to pick up again. And I was getting a little frustrated and flustered. And I said something and he was like, there she is. There she is. And I'm like, oh, here we go.
At that point, he's probably pulling it out of you even more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's funny. So I know we had a few questions. We have some viewer questions also. But we had a few questions we wanted to ask. I guess I'll start it off. I have a couple here.
Go ahead.
You want to start it off?
I'll start it off. What you got to do?
I'll do it.
What you got to do?
Don't tell me what to do. I'll do it. So your shop is located near some cities, at least, depending on how you define near. Like you're fairly close to Philadelphia, Cherry Hill, cities like that, Camden. Do you ever find it daunting to think about like how many businesses that sell somewhat similar foods are around you and you're like competing for customers?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to know that there's literally 2 pizza shops up the street from me. And then it's like on the Black Horse Pike, on the White Horse Pike, there's literally maybe 5 on each pike.
Yeah,
it's insane. But it's like, that's why I do what I do, because I need to stand out and not be like everybody else. You know what I mean? So fresh and unique and different and put a spin on things. I mean, like you can come in my shop, you can take my recipes, you could do my ideas, but it's like, are you going to make it the way I make it?
Yeah, it still won't taste the same.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. And that's for anyone watching who doesn't know, like you kind of touched on it, but all the chicken fingers, turkey breast, roast beef, all that stuff Gena makes in-house, fresh, wing sauces, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's,
and everything I do, I've learned it from my dad. Believe it or not, that mild sauce that you love so much, my dad's recipe.
That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Let him know he has a good mild sauce.
Well, next time you're there and he walks in, you let him know.
So this kind of rolls into that a little bit. what do you do, or how do you do it to focus on making sure your product is like the absolute best it can be at all times?
So I don't know if you notice, but I originally I cook everything myself. I mean, I finally just found some help, but for the last 2.5 years, it's been me doing it all myself. You know, I do have kids that help me, and I love them to death, but the cooking, it's me. Like, and it's tedious, you know, to try to make sure that everything goes out the way I want it, and I just feel like if it's not what I would eat, I wouldn't serve it.
Right.
And I think that's really important. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't understand that.
No, for sure. And I know you're kind of on the same plane as far as, you know, like you have to, your hands are on almost every box before it leaves the kitchen to make sure
whether
it's
you
up
have
to
people
par,
or you
know,
don't
like,
have people, it's
it's like I literally look like a lunatic in there. I'm like literally, my mind is on the oven. Like, okay, I threw a pizza in, so that's going to take, I'm in the back corner of the oven, so that's going to take about like 5 minutes because the back corner is hot. But then I have to make a cheesesteak, and then I have to make sure that the kids are putting the right stuff in the bag and it's going to the right address with the right receipt. So it's just like, then customers are walking in and I'm like, hey, what's going on? Your food's coming up. Like, you know what I mean? So my mind is just
everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because it's, people look at me like I'm a lunatic. Like,
And then you go home and you just want to sit and do nothing.
Yeah, I go home and I'm just, my mind's still sitting there like, okay, how can I fix things? How can I make things better? How can I make it comfortable? How can I get the kids to move? How can I motivate them? Like, it never ends. People think that you own a business and, you know, everything is just peaches and creams, and they don't understand like the back end of it. Like, it's not just putting an apron on and being a business owner. There's like so much more. Like, I have to, you know, run a business and then deal with different personalities. Like, you never know. These kids, it's like one day one kid has a problem and the next day another kid has a problem. And it's not like I'm just a boss. I'm more like, I feel like a parent sometimes, because it's like they come in and I have to like calm them down and talk to them and give them advice and trying to get them to move and get them to work and make it comfortable for everybody, you know?
All while you're trying to get your product to go out the same exact way to every single customer.
This is true. It's not easy. And then being a female in the business it's another.
Yeah, well, especially pizza. I mean, that's wildly male driven. Mm-hmm. I would say, at least. I mean,
you know how many times I've had guys come in like looking for work and they'll turn around and like, where's the boss? I'm like, I'm the boss. They're like, no, the boss. I'm like,
look at the sign.
It's me. And they just give me this face like, I don't know what I'm doing. And then I'm like, dude, I can run circles around you. Legit, run circles around you. Like, don't come in here cocky because I will humble you very quickly.
Yeah, and I think too, I mean, even if you have staff that you can trust to cook and everything, I think a lot of it is a pride thing. Like, I think, you know, you too, you know, like, you know, it's like you need to just be that last checkpoint, you know, like to make sure that the item is exactly what you're expecting it to be before it leaves the kitchen.
Yeah. I mean, staff, for us at least, staff is family for us. I mean, I have no problem leaving whoever. It's I think it's more of a personal thing for a lot of business owners who take pride in their product. It's more of a personal thing. Like, okay, let me just make sure. You're second guessing yourself sometimes. Like, did I do the right thing? Did I put out the right item? It's a hard thing to do.
But it's crazy how my customers, some of them, they know if I make something, if I don't make it. It's wild. It's wild. They're like, and then the kids don't understand that some of these customers have my personal phone number. So if something's wrong, I'm going to get a text like, yo, who made this? Like, you know what I mean? So I think that's where I made a mistake, is being so involved and hovering over everything and wanting everything, you know what I mean, that now it's hard for me to step away because I'm like, okay, are they going to make it right? Am I going to be okay? Can I walk out for an hour and go grab a coffee?
But I don't think that's a mistake you made up front. It's just how you run. That's who you are as.
I know, but sometimes I feel like
what helps a business stand out, I think, though, is that passion for that food. I think that's a passion. I think that's more of a passion than it is trying to keep a grip on it. It's just a passion for what goes out, and it's the only way you can run a business successfully in the modern day, I think, independently.
This is true, but people too, they walk in and like they don't understand that, like, if I am correcting one of the kids, they were like, oh, she's a bitch. Oh, she's yelling. She's this and she's that. I'm like, but let me tell you something. If I don't correct them and it goes out, then you're not going to call the shop and complain. You're going to go on social media and bash the fuck out of me for no reason when all you had to do was call the shop and I could have corrected it, the problem. You know what I mean? So it's like some people walk in, they're like, oh my God, she's yelling at the kids. I'm like, but you don't even know. You're walking into the midst of it. You don't even know what's going on. And you're like automatically jumping to conclusions. Like I'm making sure that they're doing their job. Like I said, these kids, love them. I love them like they're my own and I would do anything for them. But sometimes it's just like, you guys got to get it together. Like they have their personal things going on and sometimes they're just not there mentally. Like they're there physically, but they're not there mentally. And I have to like, come on, I need you to do this. And it's like, I'm not being a bitch about it, but when I'm busy and I'm moving, it's just like, okay, I need you to pull this. I need you to get that. Let's get this. Let's get that. And it seems like I'm coming off like aggressive, but I'm not. It's just work. When it's time to go to work, it's time to go to work. And I expect you guys to move. And people don't understand that. They don't understand that, this is my livelihood. I've been doing this for so long and this is all I have. So there's no option to fail. You know what I mean?
The people with those critique also don't see like, when you go to the kids wrestling matches or like when you, like go, make sure you're like seeing their prom photos and stuff like that. Like you have like that family environment too. So like they see you, in the middle of service, like making sure that everyone gets the proper food that they need to be getting. But like they don't see that you're spending a lot of your private time, what little of it you have, involved in their lives also.
Yeah, I try to make it very important for them to realize that, I am appreciative of them because if it wasn't for them, I can't run the shop by myself. You know what I mean? So I do, like, if they ask me, like, oh, can you show? Of course, 100%. You want me to show up to a game? Let me know when, what time, and I'll be there. You know what I mean? I try to make them know that I'm there regardless. Like, if anything happens, I'm a phone call away, and I will run if I have to for them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's great. Like I said, that's, kind of ties into how you said, like, the whole, like, family atmosphere. It's like, they, regardless of what's happening during service, I think, and maybe kids don't understand that as well as, like, adults that have been in the business for a while or whatever. But, like, when it's go time, it's go time. It's like it's during service. It's served, like, when I was in the kitchens, I mean, it used to get hot. Like, people would get mad. It would be, like, a bad scene. And, like, afterwards, we'd all go get a drink. It was like, we're family outside and inside of work. It's just we're family that's not so friendly to each other inside of work.
It's all about the hustle. It's about getting it done and getting it out. It's rough. It's rough. And a lot of people don't understand. So if you're not in the business and you don't know the day in and day out routine, then you're not going to get it. You're just going to walk in and be like, oh God. But the crazy part is if you were to walk into a business and it was a man running a business and they're in there like, yo, I need this and I need that and I need you to move this and I need you to, it would have been like, oh, it's the
he's
owner.
In control of his kitchen.
He's in control of his kitchen and he's running his kitchen. But it's the fact that I'm a woman and, you walk in, you see this woman just running around like a lunatic, like, oh, grab this, pull the pizza up, cut this, like, answer the phone. No, Sammy, you should know that answer by now. It's just like, oh, she's a bitch.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, it's easy. Like I said, I think it's easy to walk into a place and judge a situation. That's,
So what about you? What about business? How's business been?
It's good. Good. I'm busy. I think all businesses, like I said earlier, I think having a business, family-run business where you're trying to give the best product you can, it's always going to be hectic, especially if you have your hands in all the time. I mean, we do a lot of time. Myself and my wife here do a lot of time to build what we got built. And like I said, we're very appreciative of the people that we got working for us. They're awesome. We try to treat them like that. But like you're saying, I mean, I run around like with my head like that too. What are you doing? Let's go. Bring it out. But I think that's the only way to communicate sometimes with that kind of rush when you got that going. It's just it's not that you're intentionally doing it. It's part of the game, I guess. And I think a lot of my guys are in the same exact way. They get to that point and they're telling each other the same thing. Like, why are you angry at him? Or nobody's angry at nobody.
No, you got to move.
Yeah. It's just right. So,
if I am wrong, like sometimes I do. Like sometimes I say something and I'm like, why did I say that? I'll wait until the rush is over and then I'll be like, look, guys, I'm sorry. I apologize, but this is why I said it. Right. The way I said it, maybe I should have never said it like that, but it came from a good place. It wasn't from me doing it to be, it's just, I need you to move.
Right.
And they get it.
Right.
They understand it. So it's like some of my kids tell them, like, I don't understand why people get upset if we're not upset. And we understand. Why are they upset? I'm like, because they're the outside looking in. So they don't really get the fact that you guys have been with me for months or years. You know what I mean?
Hey, Chuck, she sounds like a Philly girl.
It's one of those ketchup on the top of the sandwich type girls.
Lettuce and tomato on the bottom. You didn't like it?
She sounds like,
He's like, what the fuck
sounds
is
like
this?
sounds like a Philly girl.
And I think a lot of those people, first of all, like, you know, they probably work some office job somewhere. You know, I don't want to assume, but like, I very highly doubt anyone has come in and like thought that either of you being a little, you know, at the top of your register during a busy service, they probably have never been in a situation where they've worked in the kitchen or like definitely never had their name on the building, you know. So again, it's like it's easy to criticize, it's easy to judge. So a
lot of people don't know who I am. So when they come in, they're like, "There's this bitch just running around screaming at the kids."
Let me tell the manager.
Let me tell the manager. Manager, how many messages?
You do about face. You spin once, you're like, "All right, the manager's here."
How many messages have you gotten?
There's been a few. There's a couple. There's a couple messages. We said we were going to get Medusa shirts made with her face on Medusa.
Oh, it's a good gimmick. Good gimmick for the business.
Hilarious.
You never know.
It'd be hilarious.
What the guy say? I had what?
RBF.
I didn't know what the hell that was for a minute. I kept asking the kids. I'm like,
do you not
what
know
the hell is RBF? They're like, what is it?
Resting bitch face.
I'm
I know,
like,
I know that term. I didn't know what RBF was.
RBF.
That's
Resting
a little
bitch
story.
face.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what he said.
Yeah. He was not resting bitch. He was active bitch, that guy.
Oh, man. What is this going sour quick?
Yeah. Bring him in here. See what happens. Chad, you have any questions you want to ask?
I do. I got a couple questions for you.
Shoot.
So, first question is your menu items foods that you enjoy, or would you prefer to have something else that would have been on the menu, but you can't because of the type of business that you're currently running?
So my menu is very, how can I put it? Very simple. It's not, you open it and there's like a million things going on and you're just like, what in the world? What do I order? What do I not order? It's very basic. So I got maybe like 5-7 steaks. I think the most complex thing I have on my menu would be my pizzas. But sandwiches and stuff like that, it's very simple. It's like, I made it so where if I ever was able to walk out of the shop, whoever's cooking would be able to handle what's ever going on in the kitchen. So if you have only a couple sandwiches on there, I mean, how long does it take you to learn how to make a sandwich? So it's repetition, and it's just, okay, it's this, and that. That's it.
It's also good for speed.
Yeah.
To get things out quicker.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
Yeah. I really thought the menu through when I made it, because I'm like, okay, so I know the first couple years are going to be rough for me. I didn't expect it to be as rough as it has been in the first 2 years that I've been there. I mean, I've gone through some challenges, and I'm glad the way I made the menu and the way I set the kitchen up, it's where it's literally like a box. You know what I mean? You make pizza, oven, and I can just keep running. And I'm not in nobody's way. No one's in my way. There's space to run, and I can do it efficiently and get it out at a timely manner.
It's a big Greek hamster wheel.
Is it?
So the foods that you did put on that menu are similar to what you used to eat before you had the restaurant?
Yeah.
That's the type of line of food that you would like.
Yeah. It's, your basic pizza shop food, nothing crazy. Like, I did try to do the pasta thing, and I'm like, yeah, this got to go. Can't do this. And
No, you're not really set up for that either.
No, the kids, like I said, I don't really have a stovetop for it. Yeah. So it's like, this got to go. And I'm not going to pre-make frozen stuff, and I'm not doing all that.
And then you're able to, I mean, I don't think it gets stale because you're able to run specials and stuff too. You have like the current special you're running now. So
yeah. But like everything's fresh, and I try to keep it as fresh as possible. You know what I mean? Everything. So I think quality of food is really important. People don't understand that. People think that you throw something together and you send it out the door and that's it.
Yeah.
And my biggest thing is, like, I tell everybody, if I wouldn't eat it, I wouldn't serve it.
Right. No. That's probably the best way to do what you're doing. So to run off of that question, being that you have certain standards, it sounds like, for your product to go out the way you want it to go out and the way you eat it. How is it being in the business with the fluctuating food prices that are going up, and how have you handled that, I guess?
It's very stressful, honestly, because you never know. You just never know. Like 1 week, box of wings will be down to like $76, and then the following week is up to $100 and something. I'm like, what the fuck happened? Like, where did that? Where what? And it's like you sit down, you know, go through the numbers, and you're going through your inventory list, and you're going through pricing when the invoice comes in. You're like, well, last week it was this, and now this week is this. And then it's like you have other food competitors, like vendors, trying to come in and like compete with the vendors that you have. And it's just like, what do you do? Like, do you go with a different company? Do you stay with the company? You know, there's times I go to the Restaurant Depot because I run out of something, and I see the prices at Restaurant Depot, and I'm like, wow, this is like a $10
I could
difference.
do this myself.
Yeah, like, but then it's like they say, oh, it's the convenience of you not leaving the shop, and you know. But I'm like, if I can save $200, $300,
right.
I'm going to save $200, $300. Like, and then it's just when prices do go up, it's like, I'm like terrified and more, like petrified. Like, do I raise prices? Do I not raise prices? Do I stay where I'm at and hopefully prices, food costs will come down, or, you know, what do you do? It's stressful.
Yeah.
It is very stressful. And
It's a
people don't
scary place to
understand
get
that.
into.
Yeah, it is. And then, you know, you get comments from people like, oh, you know, your prices went up. I'm like, okay, but I'm pretty sure you go to the supermarket and see
your
that
prices
things
went
have
up too.
things are crazy. And like, I think I'm in a safe spot where my menu costs, like like my menu, the pricing on my menu, I think is comfortable. It's not outrageously crazy, and it's not.
Yeah. I think you're in a point where you're still making your margin, but it's not like something that's like choking people out.
Yeah, because, you know, sometimes every once in a while I'll pick up a menu from around the corner or whatever, just to get a feel of like their pricing and what they're going and, you know, how they're doing it. And then I'm like,
You're like, I'm low.
yeah, like maybe I should raise it at like $1 or a couple cents. And then it's like, will people realize that I raised prices? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somebody came in the other day and she was like, oh, this is not the price. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I had to go up $1 for, you know, just things have gotten expensive. Right. And she just gave me this face like I did the worst thing in the world. And I felt so bad when she walked out the door, but it's like at the same time, like I have to make profit on something. Like I can't, I feel like
you have to be able to keep your lights on.
Yeah. And people don't understand that. It's more to, you know, my electric, how much is your electric bill a month?
A lot.
Yeah, a lot. People don't get it.
Yeah.
Electric, the gas, you know, it's costly.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have, I mean, you both have not a big staff, but you have staff members to pay. I mean, you have like, there's stuff. There's, you know, yeah. If you're, I don't know. I guess there's multiple ways to look at it. I personally, I was always of the persuasion that if you were able to make your margins, you shouldn't raise your prices. And that was just me. I wasn't the owner though. I was just running kitchens. So I was trying to do what was right for everybody. And, you know, I know that there are people that don't believe that same thing. And, you know, it's like, well, this guy around the corner raises his price, I'm raising my price, you know? So like, I mean, like even that whole wing situation, like when it got like crazy, you know, like COVID time and stuff like that, like most places have not brought their wing prices back down.
Right.
So like, you're still looking at like a dozen wings is like $18 at a lot of places. And it's like, we know, I mean, like anyone with half a brain can look and see that the price has come down. Like, so what are you guys doing?
Yeah. So
you know,
at least
like,
for my thought process, I'm under the same thing. I don't think, to be honest with you, we've raised anything more than a couple cents in the last 3 years that we've been open.
Yeah. No. And I think you're both under.
Yeah.
Like I've been around, you know, for what I do, I eat at a lot of places in a lot of areas, you know, so I've been around to places with similar items that you guys have. I think you're both like in a very competitive place as far as pricing.
So, I mean, even with that whole egg thing that was going on, everybody was jacking up prices $1 or $2. I left that the same. I had customers who asked, how are you keeping it same? I'm like, well, I mean, if I raise it, you probably lose some customers. They'll never come back, or you leave it the same and eat the cost. And when it comes down, you're fine. I mean, I don't agree with raising it and leaving it the way it is.
Yeah, I have not
chicken wing stuff.
Right,
that just doesn't make no sense to me.
It doesn't. It's not fair to the customers. You know what I mean? So it's like it's that thing that's on your shoulders. Like, what do you do? What's the right thing? How do you make sure your customers are happy and they're going to continue to come back? Like, I did go up on the chicken fingers, I had to, because I make them in house and it's very time consuming. You know what I mean? So I did go up $1, which.
Yeah. But even then, like, I mean, it's not back to normal, but it's hopefully getting there. But like when the eggs went up and stuff like that, like I was like, that was my first thought was she's going to get murdered right now. Like with these egg prices, like battering everything yourself. Like I was like, that's going to cost so much more to make those chicken tenders now. And it's still up. It's not back to where it was. It's not at like $6, a carton or anything anymore, but it's not a good place.
Yeah. And when I decided to start the chicken fingers, my dad was like livid. He's like, what in the world are you doing? I'm like, being different. He was like, no, just buy. I'm like, dude, you didn't do it at your shop. I'm not doing it at mine. I have to be different. To make it around where I'm at, you have to be different. You have to stand out. You can't be like everybody else and have the same thing. And, I just take pride in what I have. And, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I mean, there's no hard feelings there, but I know what I put out and I know my product is good. So.
And that's, I think, definitely one of the things that sets you apart. Like, there are very few places right now that are making their own chicken tenders. So me personally, I think that's cool, especially and again, I don't know how much that factors into like your clientele, but like for me, like I'm a father, like my kids, I think all kids like chicken tenders. That's something I'd be looking at immediately is like, like there's no garbage in this. It hasn't been frozen for 6 months in some warehouse somewhere. Like that for me would be a big deal when I'm shopping. And then like, if you look at your menu, you did have to raise the price or whatever, but you're still in line with the prices of the places that are serving this frozen stuff that's been sitting in a freezer for 6 months. So in my mind, it's an easy choice.
Yep.
So now I got to drive down to get some chicken fingers.
You do.
Okay, you do.
You got to try the upside down pizza too.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
Now you're giving me many reasons.
I mean, I drove out here, so
That's it.
tit for tat.
We'll have to do, we've been talking about those on-site podcasts.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to go
maybe soon.
drop into South Jersey.
Maybe soon.
Maybe you can get a show.
You're getting hungry already. Just sitting here starving.
Got a napkin, I'm drooling.
But I feel like a lot of the stuff that I have at the shop, like the pin wheels.
I know.
And I'm like, guys, what I'm doing is not a pinwheel. Like, it's
What there's the current trend for that item, they are calling them pinwheels. Most places, it's still a garlic knot. It's not because it's not perfectly shaped into a knot does not make it not a garlic knot. Right, mm-hmm. Right. Actually, that's what you should call them. Not a garlic knot is what you should call them. That would be hysterical.
Yeah. All the comments I get, they're like, it's not a garlic knot.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's dipped in garlic knot sauce.
It's a garlic knot.
It's garlic knot.
And for reference, for anyone watching, Gena has these incredible cheesesteak garlic knots, but they look like if you go to a lot of places, New York, Northern Jersey, et cetera, they have, they call them pinwheels, built in the same way. They'll use pepperoni, maybe cheesesteak, whatever. For the longest time, when I found an item like that in the past, they were called a garlic knot. The pinwheel is like a new phrase to me, which is fine. Call it whatever you want. Like just, if it feels like pork roll Taylor ham to me, who gives a shit? Like it's good. Just eat it. Like, why are we fighting over the name? Like, I don't know. And for me, I don't care because I run your social media and every comment drives your views up. So please keep talking shit in the comments about what they're called, please.
We love it.
I do. It's great. I open it up and I laugh a little bit. It's wonderful.
Well, the crazy part is I originally started them with just chicken because I don't eat meat. I don't eat red meat. So I started with chicken. And I had made a couple for customers. I'm like, hey, try this. Let me think what you like. Let me know what you think about it. I'm thinking about putting it on the menu. It was one of those nights where, I just had one of those nights and I'm like, let me think of something. Like I literally lay in bed. I'm like, I think, I'm going to go to the shop tomorrow and try that out. And then you walked in to do like a review on food one day. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to make some cheesesteak ones for him and let's see what happens. Let's let it roll. And then from there, they just blew up.
Yeah, no, they're good. And that was, I came in with Eric, Culinary Road Trip. He brought me in, so I have to thank him for that because they were good.
Yeah,
they were good. And we had buffalo chicken pizza the first time we came, which was also very good. But that upside down is like my thing.
So
I love
you
it.
guys know that this is the type of food that I crave.
I know all the time.
So
I know.
why are we talking about this? We're just trying to get to know.
There's
what we're doing
literal
here.
drool
now.
now.
Now we're talking about garlic knots and cheesesteak garlic knots.
We're
and
doing it
upside down
just to make
pizzas.
you
This is not-
jealous at this
this
point.
is
Hey,
not
I can
good.
make them into buffalo chicken garlic knots.
Well, we can't make anything now, so how's that help? Oh man,
Now we're just gonna sit here and starve.
yeah. Episode over.
Where's the food? Where's the
Episode
display?
over.
Yeah, lay it out. Let's go.
Oh man.
You're supposed to be prepared for this. You're supposed to have food here.
Yeah, I ate it when I was bringing it over. I was hungry.
Closing down the kitchen.
Closing down the
Just
kitchen.
munching on the way over.
I ate it. I'm sorry.
Ridiculous. You think you know a guy?
Do you?
I guess not.
Oh man,
Was that all you had?
that's the
I think that's all you had, right?
A couple questions I had right there.
We do have a few viewer questions.
Okay,
All right.
let's go.
So, first viewer question comes to us from Tara Nylander. She asks, "What is your favorite thing to cook?" I thought this was good, having multiple people here who own places. I was in the kitchen for a hot minute.
Go ahead, Chad. What's your favorite thing to
Well,
cook?
I mean, you're the guest here, so
I feel
you're the guest here.
I feel special.
You got the nice chair.
Oh, thanks. Favorite thing to cook. Would it have to be in the kitchen at the shop, or would it be
No.
something?
No, just I
home?
think I'm going to interpret that as in life, just however, whether you're at work or at home.
So I grew up in a very multicultural family. So my dad's Greek and my mom is Puerto Rican. So I grew up on Greek food and Spanish food. So
That sounds delicious.
it is, it's the best of both worlds. You can't go wrong there. Favorite thing to cook. Honestly, I don't even have anything because when I go home, I don't even want to cook.
Oh, I feel that. Oh, I
don't.
talk about this all the time. When I was in the kitchen,
all Fruity Pebbles.
that's it. That's exactly
Bowl of
it.
cereal.
All Fruity Pebbles.
That is 100% it.
As long as
for
the
real.
milk is really cold,
You're
I'm,
good.
it.
I'm all for it.
I am like a
You know how many
huge
times
Fruity
I've
Pebble
stopped
fan.
at Wawa at the end of the night and got a bowl of soup?
Just
and
because
then-
you don't want to cook. You
Yeah,
don't
and
wanna
then
do anything.
and then the guys and they were like, "Don't you own a pizza shop?" I'm like, "I do." Like,
Not right now, I don't.
Why didn't you bring yourself something home?
They were closed when I went to order.
Right now, I'm pizzaed out.
They were
That's
closed
it.
when I went to order.
Yeah, no, that's what it was. Like a bowl of cereal, or like a very quick cold sandwich I could throw together. That was it. When I left the kitchen, I did not want to even think about cooking. Like it was, and complete afterthought. Absolutely not.
Yeah, even when I'm at the shop, I don't even eat all day. I won't eat all day because I feel like if I can't sit down and enjoy my food, I just don't want to eat because then I'm going to get miserable because I'm like, okay, I have to take a bite and then you come back and it's all cold and you're like, and it just doesn't taste the same. So then it's like you leave work and you're like, damn, I'm starving. What am I going to eat tonight? Fruity Pebbles as it is.
Pebbles it is, with ice cold milk.
That actually sounds awesome.
Got
Why?
milk.
Why is this happening?
Got milk.
Like out of nowhere. Like you talked about being starving over pizza, and I'm like, ooh, cereal. So what about you? What's your favorite thing to cook?
Cook. I think I mentioned this in earlier episodes, but for me, it's always been this is the food that I love.
Like
the
what
food
you're-
that
what
we
you're
make,
making
the
at
food that
SMP,
we make
right,
over
right.
at SMP is the food I make. I mean, honestly, the best thing for me is cooking anything sandwich wise, chicken, steak, beef, whatever it may be. That's the type of food that I love making. I mean, going back to what you're saying, I don't like making it at the end of the day when I want to eat, but to cook, that's probably what I enjoy most putting together.
If you're not passionate about what you do, you're not going to succeed.
No.
You're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people don't realize to be successful, you have to sacrifice. Like, I've worked for 2 years, almost 3 years. The 21st of June is going to be 3 years that I bought the shop and open and close every day.
Yep.
Missing parties, missing graduations, missing weddings, missing this, missing that. I sacrifice because I'm like, okay, if I just keep my head down and go to work, it's all going to pay off and I'm going to be able to enjoy the fruits of my labor, and people don't get it. Like it's affected my personal life.
Oh, of course.
You know what I mean? Like people don't realize that I own a business. People think, oh, you own a business. You can walk away whenever you want. I can't.
It's the exact opposite.
I can't. I live, breathe, and shit. that pizza shop. You know, people don't understand when I got the shop, I was working a full-time job, and at that point, I wasn't even living in Jersey yet, and I was driving, and I was sleeping on the counters in the pizza shop. I would go in. You know, I had to remodel the place because when I bought the place, it wasn't what they said it was going to be. So it was 3 months down of not being able to open because things weren't correct. But that's besides the point. But it was like people don't realize the sacrifices I had to make to be where I'm at. People are like, oh, it must be nice. You know what must be nice? The fact that I had to work a full-time job, then go and stay at the shop until 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, sometimes be so tired, sleep on the pizza table because I'm like, I'm not going home to take a shower,
Right.
wash my face, and go back to work and do it all over again for 3 months. People don't...
Yeah, that must be nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it must be nice, right? People don't understand the grind. Like, not everybody's built for it, and everybody
Right.
has that mentality that they're going to sacrifice how many years it is to do what they need to do to get where they need to be.
Yeah, and that's why I walked away from it. You know, and maybe I'll go back someday. I don't know. I'm still undecided, but
Oh, you say you're going to come in and cook in the kitchen?
yeah, well, you know,
Chef
I
it up
can
for me?
I can moonlight a little bit. You know, I was making cheesesteaks in here earlier.
Didn't suck either.
But it was, no, when I had the kids and everything, you know, I spent the first couple of years of their life still in kitchens and stuff, and I missed everything. You know, it was like all of the mild, like, you know, I'm like finding out that they took their first steps and stuff like that. I didn't get to see that stuff. You know, it was like, and I mean, I did what I had to do. I mean, they had a roof over their heads and they were fed and, you know, everything like, but that's why I started looking for a way out, was for that exact reason. Was like, I just couldn't, I had no life. Like, forget about like good life, bad life. I had no, like, it was like, I had one day off a week and I slept half of it. And the other half I like attempted to spend time with them. Yeah. And that was pretty much it.
You know, I didn't understand why my dad was so big on like, oh, I don't want you in it. Like, he was, and like, you know, I wanted to take over the pizza shop, and you know, him and I just, it was a clash, you know, because he wanted me to do a certain way and certain things, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it on my own. You know what I mean? And everybody's like, oh, you can't do it, you're not gonna make it, and I'm like, you know what, I got that chip on my shoulder, and I'm gonna show people that I can do it. Like, you know what I mean? So it's more of like I said, it's that no room to fail type of mentality that I have. But you know, it's a grind. It's a grind, and if you're not prepared for it, it will chew you up and spit you out.
Absolutely.
There's been plenty of times I'm like, what the fuck did I do, and why did I get myself into this? And now I understand why my dad didn't want me to do this.
Right. I guess I should give an answer for that question. I totally I trailed off and
What do you like?
so I kind of have a two-part answer. I actually thought about this one. It's like rare that I think about these things, but I actually thought about this. So the first part being when I was in restaurants, I detested, and I mean detested, I hated making chicken franchise.
I don't understand what the big thing is about that.
Some people
Chicken what?
Some people franchise. So
It's chicken breast.
so you flour the chicken first, like you know, a lot of times, let's say you're making fried chicken or something, you'll bread after egg washing. So with this dish, you flour and then egg wash and then go right into the pan, so it has like an egg coating outside.
It's kind of soft. It doesn't have. It's not like a cutlet, like where it's like.
No, it's totally different. It's a totally different dish altogether. But it's and you know, it's like heavily, you know, lemon and you know, it's just you either love it or you hate it. Pretty much. There's not a lot of like middle ground on this dish.
And not everybody can cook it right.
Right. So I happen to make a really good one. However, I spent so many years. Every time one would come through the machine, it was like I wanted to throw tongs across the kitchen. I mean, I was miserable about it. I really hated it. So I didn't make it for the longest times. So it turns out Sammy, you know, my girlfriend, her mother, that's like her favorite thing in the world. So I'm like, all right. It was like a Mother's Day or something like that. I'm like, I'm going to make it for everybody, whatever. So like I said, I make a pretty good one. So everyone was like, when it's true, it's true.
Okay.
So everyone's like, oh my God, this is great. This is incredible. It's amazing. So I'm like, great. Now I'm the guy that makes chicken franchise every time somebody wants one. But I don't hate it now. Like now it's like, I know people appreciate it. I know that I'm making it for people that I care about. So it's like, it's not an issue. As we're like in the restaurant, you know, it's like half these people, like, you know, they're going to complain about it later. They're going to end up leaving the server a crappy tip for no reason. They're going to, you know, be like, oh, well, it was all right, but I could have made it better. Whatever. Like, you know, like,
well, then go home and cook it.
Then go home and cook it. Right. So now if I'm making it, I know it's for people that actually want it, that are actually going to appreciate it. So I don't mind making it as much. It's still a crazy mess and it's awful to clean up after and whatever, but I don't hate it as much as I used to hate it now. So that's that. But my actual, for me, and it's not so much a thing.
Not cereal?
It's my favorite thing to eat. So for the longest time, starting, I don't know, a couple of years ago, pretty much running straight through now, if I go to a restaurant and I try something that I've never had before, like I spend the entire time I'm eating it trying to figure out how to remake it. And then I'll go home and I'll remake it. Sometimes I hit it, sometimes I don't, but that's fun for me. Like I find like joy in that. Like I'm like, okay, like what is that flavor? Can I recreate that? Like what was that exact seasoning, whatever the case. So
that's called passion for the kitchen.
Right. And that's,
which means you're ready to come back.
No, I don't. My schedule is not ready to allow me to come back yet.
You got a job for him?
I got a job for whoever.
I do think I'll end up back in it. I do, but right now
it's an addiction. Making food is an addiction.
Well, yeah, for me personally, I love cooking and I love a lot of parts of the business, but there are a lot of parts of the business I don't love. You know, so it's not. Right now with the place that my kids and my family, Sammy and our stuff, where we're at, it's not ideal. It's not realistic. But I do believe that will happen eventually. Just not today. Yeah.
That's one thing I say all the time. I'm like, I love what I do. I love it. I like going into the kitchen. I love doing what I do, making the food and people enjoying it. What I don't love is the shit that comes along with it, like the stuff that people don't see behind closed doors, all the problems and the scheduling and this and that, and who's calling out, who's coming to work, and you're trying to figure out how you're going to make it work if you're shorthanded. And
hey, we signed up for it, right?
Yeah, I guess. Right?
It's an unfortunate truth.
Signed up for it.
It's like
comes with it.
It's like that meme with the Spider-Man where they're all pointing at each other. It's like, who's the blame for this?
Yeah.
And that's another thing too. Like if something happens, it's like it's nobody else's fault but yourself. You know what I mean? You can't put it on your staff. You have to take the blame for it because at the end of the day, it's your name.
Right. Especially in like both of your situations, like it's like, you know, literally your name, your kid's name, like on the door. You know, it's like. All right. Well, we do have one more viewer question. From an old buddy of mine, Steve-O. He's a really good bass player. Who is your inspiration chef-wise? And for me, I'm going to take that to mean it doesn't have to be a famous, you know, TV chef or anything like that. I think just, I think whoever just kind of inspires you or did inspire you, you know, in this field.
So I would have to say it would be my grandfather and my dad. You know, just my grandfather could cook. When he was alive, he could throw it down. He used to make chicken pot pies, like everything from scratch. I remember like he would come over and like just cook food. At the shop, he would cook for us. And then my dad, like just to see my dad and how, like my dad can throw down in the kitchen. And he's never been to culinary school. He was just all self-taught, like watching the Food Network and like I said, working in different restaurants and learning different things. And just seeing him do it just made me have that fire. Like, oh, but I love to cook. Like I love to cook, not for myself, but I love to cook. You know what I mean? So whenever there's a family function, I'm always asked to make something or bring something, which is okay, I guess.
Yeah, I end up being that guy too. It's my own fault though. I kind of volunteer. Like without volunteering, I kind of just keep edging my way towards the kitchen. You know, it's like I could be doing that.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. You're supposed to put that down. No, where's the oil at? Right? Ketchup, go straight across, not zigzagged.
We won't touch that one.
Lettuce and tomato on the bottom, please. I said, toast my roll. And he's like, what?
Oh, I refused. That roll's too good.
I'm sorry. A cheesesteak with a toasted roll is pretty good.
Chuck?
So everyone's opinion's their opinion. Everyone's different. And I know for the longest time in Philly, that's how they did it. However, in my opinion, it's because they were using rolls like Amoroso, which aren't that good. So
Oh,
they
you
toasted
better
them.
stop.
They toasted them to make it taste better and get the crust that they should have initially without having to toast them.
I think
So
That's
now he
my
wants
opinion.
he wants to talk about Amoroso bread. Okay, so here we go.
She's gonna get-
He's been convincing me to
and
switch
we're
my
going down the wrong path again. We're going down
Everyone
the
has,
wrong path.
listen, it's just an opinion-based thing. It's you like what you like. That's all. So if you like a toasted roll, that's awesome.
bread. Okay, so what's the seeded rolls? He said that they look like pumpkin seeds.
They do. Amorosos, they're like green. It's like,
They're not green.
they're not sesame seeds. There's something going on with those seeds. They're from some crazy farm in like Arkansas or something. I don't know. There's something weird going on with those things. They're not.
What's your favorite bread, Chad?
My favorite bread? Corporalese.
I've never heard of them.
Never.
You
It's
just
that-
had one.
I know. It was good.
They're Philly area. They're and yeah, they're pretty big. They're big. They started actually. I believe, I don't want to misspeak, but I think that they started with the tomato pie. I think that was their first big thing. They made like the big you know tomato pies. The like I think that was their first.
I think that's one of their specialties.
Right, it's still-
they have
yeah,
a
it
chip.
still
They have a
is.
chip after that.
Oh
tomato
yeah.
pie
What was it,
too.
hers or something like that? Put it out. Yeah.
Yeah, hers.
Yeah,
Really?
so yeah, they had like three. They did. It was like three big. One was like a cheesesteak one from somewhere, and there was that, and then like I think a Korean fried chicken or something like
Something
that.
like that. Yeah.
Are they local?
No, they're
like Philly area.
Philly.
Philly?
I don't know exactly where though, unfortunately, but
Well,
yeah,
Norristown is one of the
Oh, okay,
locations.
right.
Oh, okay, so it's
Norristown's
out
one
in
of the
Norristown.
locations.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
so,
they won't deliver to Jersey, would they?
I don't know. We should check. I mean, if you like their roll, I'm not.
The only thing about Amoroso that I don't like, and I'm going to be completely honest, is the inconsistency of the roll.
Unfortunately, that's a thing with a lot of the companies. I think it's, even though it shouldn't be, it's like almost baker to baker. Like it's kind of like who was on that night. You know, it's like it's weird.
So like cook to cook.
Well, yeah, we talked about that earlier. You know, you could take your recipes and they're not going to taste the same. You know, it's probably that same kind of concept. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've had people come in for a week to just see what I do in the kitchen and then just shoot off to another restaurant. I'm like, oh, that's why you came in here. Okay. Nice to meet you too.
That's cold. Who's your chef-ish person?
I don't really have one.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
No, I'm not.
We kind of hit something
Yeah,
similar,
someone
not
that's-
the same, but similar to this on episode one.
I don't really have a favorite chef or anything. I think
So what made you want to start doing this?
me? I love food.
I mean, there gotta be another reason than you love food. Like, there's nothing, nobody inspired you to like decide to get behind the grill and start chopping some steak down.
Well, you started like wholesale though.
Yeah.
Like it was a
entirely
totally different
business
business. Yeah.
completely. Got me into the mini mart business. And mini mart business, I had snack shops that served sandwiches for many years beforehand.
My first review here, he was cooking on a grill about this size. Maybe two. There might have been one next to each other. There might have been two.
That looked like 24 inches. Mine was only 18.
It was small. It was small, and he was using I don't want to say who, and I don't want to be mean or anything, but he was using a local-ish roll that was nowhere near as good as the stuff he's using now.
Yeah.
And a different product of like meat and stuff like that, which is nowhere near what like it was the beginning, and it was still good. It was still I gave a good review. Like when I came, I was like I was pleasantly surprised. Like when I came, and then it was just you kind of grew right.
We
Yeah.
tweaked it to work with current.
Yeah, you just
Changed it up a
keeping
little
up
bit.
with
Changed it
the
up.
Joneses
Keep it
a
up
little
with-
bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Change it up.
There's
a little
nothing
bit.
wrong with change. Sometimes
No.
change is good.
No, change is actually very good, I think.
Especially, I mean, there's
I think bettering your product and bettering your line work is just part of it. I mean, it stales out. I think everything in the world stales out, not just food. Anything you just don't give more passion or time or effort and try to change it to what's around you, I think will stale out. That's just my opinion, but
Yeah, you always have to be one step ahead of the game, they say, right?
yeah, absolutely.
So you never decided to like dabble in pizza at all?
maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. I leave that for the professionals, though.
Oh, professionals?
I leave that for the professionals.
Well, pizza's like a totally different beast.
It is.
Sure.
Because like I spent a great deal of time in the kitchen, and I'm still no good at pizza. I'm just not. I mean, it's just honest. Like pizza's not something that I do well.
So when I first bought the pizza shop, right, my pizza's different. It's like more traditional Greek style tossed pizza because my dad's Greek, so that's how I learned, and I got just things people were saying at the first week I opened. I'm like, look, if you like thin crust, just say it.
Yeah, you can make it.
I can make it. Do I like making it? No. But if that's what you want, I can make it. But my crust is a little bit thicker. It's like a little bit more airy. You know what I mean? It's just, Jersey's just a different beast when it comes to pizzas. You know what I mean? Everybody has their opinion on how they like it and how they want it cooked. And it's like, but I'm not a mind reader. I can't read your mind through the phone. You got to tell me. You got to be verbal and be like, hey, I want thin crust. Well done.
I think pizza, I really do think pizza is a hard, very hard food to perfectionize. Just dabbling with food and being around food all day.
And it's harder, and I'll probably make a lot of enemies with this, but I don't really care. In this like Portnoy era that we're in, a lot of people don't even know what they like, I think. Personally, like I think they kind of follow on his coattails, and it's like he said it can't have any flop at all, and he said it has to be this thin, and he said look at that. Before that guy existed, nobody said the phrase undercarriage and spoke about pizza ever. Like he created the phrase, which is fine. That's cool. Like and he's done. Don't get me wrong. He's done a great deal for a lot of businesses. Like through COVID and everything, he's helped out many businesses. I'm not talking shit about him in any way. It's just like there's a lot of people that are followers, and they're not. I don't even think they're making up their own mind about this. Like,
and that's why I like what I do, because my pizza's different, and I know it's different, and I know not everybody's gonna like it, and it's okay because I tell them all the time, you're not, my pizza's not for everybody. Pick your poison. There's a pizza shop up the street. There's one around the corner. There's 5 more down the pike. Like, but people that appreciate a different style of pizza will come and actually enjoy my pizza because my Sicilians, I hate making them, but at the same time, they sell. Like, I'm known for the Sicilians because, I have a process. Like, some people in the comments, whenever we were like, oh, they're freshly made, they were like, oh, aren't they always fresh? No, not everybody makes them fresh. Some people, what are they? Pre-cook them?
Yeah, like a par bake,
bake them, and then, once they get busy, they slap the shit on it, put it in the oven, and they're good to go.
If you don't let her know or whatever, if you're ordering just like you're calling in, like I want a Sicilian right now, you have to wait an hour.
Wow!
Like the whole proofing process and everything happens right then when you order
fresh. Yeah. Well, fresh does take time.
Right. Yep. But a lot of people don't get that. They're like, well, I could go down the street and get it in 20 minutes. So go down the street then.
Fresh takes time.
If you want a better product, you're going to wait the hour.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Some people get so mad. It got to the point where I had to take them off the tablets because I just couldn't deal with, I would have to call the customers back and be like, hey, just to give you a heads up, your Sicilian's going to be about an hour or so. What do you mean? I'm like, I'm sorry, but, it's fresh to order. I don't have them sitting around. I just don't, Some people understand and they'll wait, and some people just get so pissy about it. Like, I had a driver. I've had was he DoorDash? A DoorDash driver?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I had a customer order a Sicilian. I call him back, and I'm like, hey, 11 o'clock, as soon as I walk through the door, comes through the tablet. I call the customer back, and I'm like, yo, it's going to be about an hour for your Sicilian or a little bit more. Okay, no problem. We'll wait for it. Okay. Right after that, DoorDasher comes in. He's like, I'm here to pick up a pizza. I'm like, well, I just opened, and it's going to be about an hour for that pizza. And he's like, are you kidding me? I'm like, no, I'm dead serious. He goes on Google and leaves me a review.
The driver.
The DoorDash driver leaves me a review talking about how...
It's about normal.
It's wild.
About normal.
I'm like, dude,
people are nuts.
How are you mad? If the customer that I just called is okay with waiting for that pizza, why are you mad and giving me a bad review on Google for it?
Yeah, and I don't know how those apps work. Like maybe he got locked out of getting a different delivery or something because of it or whatever. Or I'm assuming he could have just gone in and been like, well, I don't want to take this delivery anymore. And it would have been fine. But I don't know. I don't know for sure.
I think that's how it works, but I don't know either. So.
But yeah, either way, to take it to that level, to go leave a review is just crazy.
And then I had to call DoorDash and complain, and they were like, "Oh, well, we can't do nothing about it." I'm like, "Well, since you can't do nothing about it, and you're gonna let him tarnish my name like that, then take me off. I don't want to use you no more as a company because if you allow your drivers to act like that, then I don't want to use you." They're like, oh, okay, well, what was his name? You know, we're going to call. Oh, now you want to fix the problem. You didn't want to fix the problem 5 minutes ago, but now that you're seeing that you're about to lose business, now all of a sudden you want to fix the problem.
Money talks.
Bullshit walks.
I'm going to answer that question. So I have like chefs whose story I really admire, like people like Marcus Samuelsson. He like has a wild backstory, and like there are places I've eaten that are like these chefs' recipes that I really enjoy, like Jose Garces. There are people like Alton Brown who I would never ever like. I'm the anti Alton Brown. Like he's like a Bill Nye of food. Like everything's a science experiment. I'm the opposite. Like I don't want to measure. I just want to cook. But I respect what he does because of that. Because like it takes time and a lot of thought and a lot of trial and error, and I just screw that. But all in all, like after saying all that, my grandfather, like that's where I watched food happen. That's that's what got me into it. So there's no real chef out there that I aspire to be, or like I'm not like driven by them to do something they've done or to do it better or whatever. I'm not. I don't know. Even when I was in the kitchen, like I wasn't in competition with anybody but myself. Like if I was better than I was yesterday, I was happy. So, I don't have, I guess, an answer for that. I would just say that as far as inspiration goes, it was always my grandfather.
That's a good one.
You said the same thing.
I know. I think it always stems from like just family. You know what I mean?
A lot of the times, yeah.
Yeah.
Depending, I mean, everyone's backstory is different.
Unless you go to culinary school and then you're around all these fancy people.
Right. And that's why I asked, because I had the opportunity to go to school and I chose not to. I was already in the kitchen and I had already learned a lot at that point. And I was only in the kitchen a couple months really. So even when I had the chance, after that fact, I was like, I'm going to get a piece of paper. I'll make more money, but it'll take more time. It'll cost me more money to get the paper. I was like, I'm just going to stay in the kitchen, so, and that's why I asked about your dad, your uncle, et cetera. Cause like it's, for whatever reason, some people still like hold that in like a very high regard when like a lot of the places I've been, food that I've enjoyed the most in this world were people that did not go to school, that like learned family recipes and like decided that they were going to be a pioneer and change that recipe, or they were going to like tweak it to reflect how they felt, things that they liked, whatever. So like it was still their family's thing, but it wasn't their family's thing anymore. Kind of.
Yeah. Not everybody has it to be in the kitchen though. Not everybody can cook. Right. Because you can say you're a chef and you get in the kitchen, you're like, what in the world was that?
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything you want to add? Anything you want to plug or anything? You have any, you want to talk about that special real quick you're running currently or anything?
What special are we running, Chuck?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't know. How would I know?
I don't know, social media guy.
I was talking about your new chicken Caesar sandwich.
Oh, yeah. So we had to incorporate the chicken fingers make it into a chicken Caesar salad sandwich. Well, what did they say in the comments? This is not it. What did they say? A chicken, what did it say? A Caesar chicken sandwich? What?
I don't even know. Yeah. All I know is we filmed one and I was going to take a bite or two and then take the rest home.
And you ate the whole sandwich.
And I'd close the box and then I'd open it and take a bite. And I'd close the box and I'd open it and take a bite.
And I said, Chuck, just eat the damn sandwich.
I ate the whole thing. I did. It was ridiculous. Like I had zero intention of eating that sandwich. I ended up eating the whole thing.
I actually sold a couple and they were actually really impressed with them. So,
No, it's good. It's really good. I wouldn't tell you if it wasn't good, I would tell you. I do it all the time, like little tweaks. We're talking about a special earlier, like very little things. Like I don't hold back on that stuff.
I'd rather be critiqued and like you tell me your honest opinion and just be like, hey, maybe you should do this, or maybe you should change that, or maybe you should fix this. And then I'll try, and if I like it, I like it. If I don't, I'd be like, fuck you.
I'm doing what I said I was going to do. All right. Well, then I want to thank you for taking the ridiculously long drive you took here, since your GPS totally screwed you on the way.
Through the mountains?
Yeah, it was supposed to be about an hour and 20 minutes. And it took you like 2 hours and 20 minutes. So that was cool. Very weird direction that GPS sent you.
Yeah,
but
you might need a new phone.
Yeah.
Waze, it's Waze, I tell you. Well, thank you for having me
No,
on
of course,
here, guys.
anytime, literally
Appreciate it.
anytime. We'd love to have you back anytime, and we'll maybe we'll get the,
No,
the
we're gonna have
equipment
to
together.
try
You
and
got to come
down.
You got to come
I mean,
down. Take
yeah.
that 2-hour drive.
Yeah, I mean, this food that you're talking about. Next time I gotta be able to experiment with.
We're gonna
it,
walk
so.
in, and she's gonna have fruity pebbles for you.
Well,
Walk
cold
right,
milk.
walk right back out the other way. Yeah, walk right out.
Your wife doesn't cook any traditional meals for you?
I'm not a traditional type of food guy.
Really?
Oh, she cooks here too.
She cooks everything. I mean,
yeah.
everything we have that's made in house.
She makes a lot of the
it.
desserts and everything. Yeah.
Nice.
But
nice.
I'm not a traditional food guy. Like I said, I mean, when I say
Oh,
this,
he
when
lives
I
on the
say this,
cheesesteak and
I
the
don't-
burger, and yeah.
Even when I'm on vacation or anywhere I go, that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for anything like 5-star, 5-course meals. It's not who I am.
So, question: when you walk into a kitchen, like me now that because I own a restaurant, but I just grew up in it. Are you like iffy about where you're going to eat and where you're not going to eat? Because I feel like I'm so picky about where I go because just being in the kitchen.
I am definitely.
Yeah.
When I walk into a place, I look at it and
Yeah, I can catch a vibe.
yeah.
I don't want to say anything too negative, but yeah, there's been places that even for videos, there's been places that I went in and I was like going to shoot a video and I'm like maybe not here.
Yeah, because I feel like it's really hard for me to find somewhere to eat. Because I walk in and I feel like if I can't see your kitchen, I don't want to eat out of your kitchen.
Yeah.
Is that weird?
No. I mean,
that's normal.
Yeah, a lot of places do have a closed kitchen, but a lot of places don't. A lot of places have an open kitchen. And yeah, I think it's just, a lot of it depends on the style of food you're going for also. Like a lot of places, it's just how it was built in. But yeah, all right. So I think that's it. I think we got a lot. I think this is a good episode.
Thank
Good.
you.
Yeah. Glad you came down.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And thank you, everyone, for tuning in to episode 3 of the Extra Meat Podcast. I'd love to tell you who's going to be on next, but I don't know.
Told you we got other stuff playing other side of this here. Suck it up while you can.
New song next episode. This song's dope, but the other
Wait a
one's
minute.
gonna
How'd
be
you guys
better.
come up with meat, extra meat? Do I even want to know?
Nope.
No.